Namaskar and welcome to the Spirit Talk, brought to you by the Pramerica Spirit of Community Awards. I'm Richandran. The Pramerica Spirit of Community Awards is an annual nationwide search to identify and recognize school students who are involved in community service and to honor and salute their undying spirit of community service. Over the last 11 years, more than 40,000 students have participated in this initiative by sending in their applications, and around 700 plus students have been recognized for their remarkable community service efforts. और Spirit Talk जो series है, this is an effort to interact with student volunteers who've been a part of the journey of Pramerica Spirit of Community Awards, as well as to discuss the essence of community service with a distinguished guest. So let me introduce our guest to you for this Spirit Talk. Our distinguished guest today is none other than Tiska Chopra, a renowned actress. She's also an author and also deeply connected with a lot of community service work. Her book, Acting Smart, is a bestseller and is being translated into Hindi now. Her second book, What's Up With Me, was released in March 2021. This book is about demystifying menstruation and puberty for young girls. And of course, who can forget her film Tare Zameen Par? Tiska has also been involved with a lot of social causes, and recently she's come out in support of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Right to Life. Speaking about it on a podcast, the actor said, in India, the rights of women are so badly trampled upon, taking away the right to not just life, but life with dignity. It's not just that you exist, but it's the quality of that existence. We would really love to know more about her thoughts on this, and she shall be joining us very soon. The two student volunteers who are joining us today are Sai Arjun Shroff and Ishita Mangla. Sai Arjun Shroff was a student of Modern School Barakhamba Road, and he has launched Nature for Health, a campaign that aims to leverage the benefits of nature to stop mosquito breeding and prevent mosquito-borne diseases. That's very interesting and very important for all of us to know. Ishita Mangla, she was a student of Delhi Public School, R.K. Puram, and she has developed a software that can detect vision development disorders in pre-verbal children at an early stage to minimize long-term damages. Her initiative, Sunain, aims to diagnose and treat children with amblyopia and poor visual acuity. So let me begin by welcoming our very distinguished guest for this Spirit Talk, Tiska Chopra. Tiska, welcome to the Spirit Talk. So good to have you here.
A pleasure, absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And आपका तो इतना सारा काम है, you've been doing so much. वो acting हो, books हो, social causes हो, तो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं इतने कम time में कैसे सारी बातें समेटूंगी. But since we're talking about community service in the Spirit Talks, or especially we are saluting the kids, the students who are into community service, तो थोड़ा हम आपके उस काम के around बात करते हैं. And I was reading about your podcast. You've come out in support of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Right to Life. And in a podcast, you said in India, the rights of women are so badly trampled upon, taking away the right to not just life, but life with dignity. It's not just that you exist, but it's the quality of that existence. So true. But now I would want you to stress upon, how do you think the right, the women of India, उनकी life की जो quality है, उसको हम बेहतर बना सकते हैं, और या वो खुद बेहतर बना सकती हैं अपनी जिंदगी को?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Because a lot of people focus on the end point. They don't focus on the process. तो मुझे ये लगता है कि दो तीन चीजें हैं जो कि dignity of life की तरफ contribute कर सकती हैं. The first and foremost, of course, is a very oft-beaten drum, and that is education. But सत्य तो यही है कि जब तक आपको पता नहीं है कि आपकी लाइफ में क्या मिसिंग है, तो आप उसको ऐड कैसे कर सकते हैं? तो आपको मिसिंग क्या है कैसे पता चलेगा? Only via education. The second thing is, which again comes out of education, is economic freedom. Once you are economically free, you can make your own decisions. नहीं तो आपके decisions या तो आपके father बना रहे होंगे, नहीं तो आपका husband बना रहा होगा, नहीं तो आपका बेटा बना रहा होगा, and you're constantly under some sort of a छत्रो छाया, and as if you need protection. अब समय इतना बदल गया है कि पुराने ज़माने में when women were physically weaker, and they still are probably physically weaker, that was because physical strength was such a big requirement back in the day, that was a very big thing. But आज की date में I don't think it's required to fight wild animals unless a zoo breakage happens, which is not likely anytime soon. So I think what is really important is mental prowess, and women have mental prowess, and they have a plethora of other wonderful traits such as patience and empathy and soft skills, which are hugely in demand today and hugely valuable today. So women can actually seriously kick butt in the workspace and make a lot of money while doing it. So I think that is something that is empowering at all levels.
टिस्का, क्या आपको ऐसा लगता है कि यू नो अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स हमें ऐसा लगता है कि विमेन को जो मिलेगा वो भी कोई और देगा, प्रॉब्ली मेन और पीपल सिटिंग एट हायर पोजीशंस ऑन दैट. डू यू फील विमेन नीड टू फाइट स्ट्रॉन्गर देमसेल्व्स टू गेट व्हाट दे वांट टू अचीव, यू नो, एंड व्हाटएवर आर द बेसिक राइट्स उनको खुद लड़ना होगा, उनको ये इंतजार नहीं करना होगा कि कोई और आकर उन्हें दे?
Couldn't have put it better. Exactly. आपके पास फ्रीडम तब तक नहीं है जब तक कि आप किसी और की वेट करें कि वो आपको फ्रीडम देगा. Then that's not freedom. That's a life
Dependence,
of
yeah.
it's a dependence, still a dependence. अभी भी वेट करें कि कोई मुझे आजाद करेगा, कोई मुझे जॉब देगा, कोई कुछ करेगा. You don't need anyone to do that for you. You can just do it yourself. And जहाँ तक मैंने देखा है, most women work doubly, triply harder as compared to men. They have to. Uh, because still the first choice is that, you know, men are more reliable, they are more professional. And I think women themselves have to take cognizance of one other thing. They have to stop making excuses like the days of menstruation, the days when they're feeling a little out of it in terms of hormones and stuff like that. They'll either have to sort of figure out a way to deal with that, but not bring that into the workspace, because that's simply like, that puts you on a back foot. I feel you should not have to do that.
Tiska, let's talk about your books. तो आपने 2 किताबें लिखी हैं. So Acting Smart is a bestseller, and you know, obviously, so the name suggests it's about acting. The other book, very interesting, What's Up With Me, which was released in March 2021, and this book is about demystifying menstruation and puberty for young girls. I think this is such an important topic, especially हमारे यहाँ rural areas में, and the taboo around menstruation. घर में ही बात नहीं करना चाहते, you know, even the educated families. आपको क्या लगता है? Tell us a little more about the book. क्या थॉट था आपका, यू नो, इसको लिखने के पीछे? नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम एक्टर टू राइट अ बुक ऑन मेंस्ट्रुएशन, सो अ लिटिल बैकग्राउंड ऑन द बुक.
So मेरी publisher है जिनका नाम है विधि भार्गवा. She came to me and she said, you know, I think you should write a letter from a mother to a daughter. Your daughter's about to be of the age of puberty, and I've known Vidhi for a number of years, many years. We were in school together. She was my brother's classmate. So she then came up with the idea that I should write these letters from a mother to a daughter. And I thought, letters, I'm not sure what that would be, how much value that would create. But I thought, and then I came up with this idea that, you know, it might be valuable to write a book about. So till the time children are pre-puberty, they're all called bacche. They're one big amorphous. The minute they hit puberty, girls start separated from the boys, as in रात को देर से नहीं जाना, ये वो नहीं होना, ये rules start coming in. They start getting treated.
Gender bias बहुत होता है, हाँ.
You start getting treated differently. किचन में नहीं जा सकते, ये नहीं कर सकते, मंदिर नहीं जा सकते, पूजा नहीं कर सकते, ये नहीं कर सकते. Which was उसके पहले सब बच्चे हैं, बच्चे जो मर्जी करें. I mean, like, do whatever the hell you have to do. So I think for me, the question became that women start getting put on the back foot from the time of their teens, and that's not a good time, and that's a good place to start, because start there. That's when you can then really start empowering young girls. So I wanted to talk about, there was a time back in a few centuries ago when there was the concept of the divine femininity, when there was the idea of women were feared because they had the goddess inside them. They were divine and considered really forces of nature because they could birth life. But that idea went away, and it started getting, like, you know, more and more trampled upon, and it became like an idea of ke bichari, you know, isko protect karo, isko ye karo, isko, and back, so on and so forth. I wanted to bring that idea to the forefront of young girls' consciousness ke aap hain janani, aap paida karti hain life, and anybody who thinks that they can dominate you, that's the wrong idea in their head, because they won't be there if you hadn't put them there in the first place. Get that idea straight. So I wanted to put that idea, and I also wanted to tell them that I want to introduce the idea of period pride, because there's no embarrassment in having your periods. The human race exists because you get your period. So I want to put that idea across to young girls, and also tell them to love and respect and enjoy their bodies, because it's no coincidence that the number of cervical cancer cases in India are the highest, because we think of our vaginas as being something which is dirty or polluted, or mandir nahi ja sakte, ye nahi ho sakta. And why? It's just a simple body part. I mean,
Right.
simple,
True.
powerful, but it's a body part. तो उसको उसी तरह से address किया जाए कि ये vagina है, ये इसका ये function है, इसका ये है. Biology. When somebody talks nonsense to you, you can tell them, look, what? It's a vagina, that's its function, that's what's happening. My ovaries are now releasing eggs, and this is what's going on with me. So I want young girls to have that power and not to be put on the तुम अचार को नहीं छू सकते, तुम किचन में नहीं जा सकते, तुम गंदे हो, ये है तुम्हारा. That irritates me, because it comes ignorance, and as the proud possessor of the ovaries should know what those ovaries are capable of and what they are doing, and how they're responsible for everyone on this earth to exist. So those were my reasons.
Wow. So what was the kind of response you got from very young girls who are very shy about because what traditionally यही होता है, सिखा दिया जाता है, very shy talking about their periods. Did you get some very interesting response from some girls?
Actually, quite a delightful response, I have to add, because girls of this generation are completely different to what you might expect them to be. They're forthright, biological, they're scientific, they're practical. My own daughter, she grabbed a copy of my book and she finished it in 45 minutes. She read it cover to cover, and that was my first reviewer. And she said, "It's not bad, Mama." And that coming from her is high praise. A lot of young girls across the country have written to me, DM'd me, tweeted to me, put messages on social media via their moms, saying that they've loved the book. A lot of my friends who have young daughters have loved the book, because I think I wanted the book to be a conversation starter, because every family needs to address puberty, whether it's a male child or a female child, to address puberty head on. I want a girl to be able to tell her dad, if you're going out shopping, just get my sanitary napkins on your way back.
Yeah.
For a bra or a sanitary napkin or whatever, in a very normal way, because that's what it is. What is the big deal? We're in the 21st century, for crying out loud. So abhi kya? Abhi bhi main, I go to the market to buy sanitary napkins, and they wrap them in a newspaper. I'm like, bomb de rahe ho, bomb khulle bech rahe ho, banduke khulle bech rahe ho, पर sanitary napkin को wrap कर रहे हो. मतलब what twisted logic is this? You explain that to me. So it just came from there, I guess.
So Tisca, हम motherhood की बात कर रहे हैं, being parents, और before I introduce our student volunteers to you who've been doing wonderful community service, मैं एक चीज समझना चाह रही हूँ आपसे. As a parent, what do you feel कि how should we raise our kids कि उनको समझ हो, उनको वो empathy हो, इंटरेस्ट हो सोशल कॉजेस की तरफ, कम्युनिटी सर्विस की तरफ. सो आपने कैसे किया, अपने एक्सपीरियंस से अगर आप बताना चाहें, हाउ डू यू एनकरेज योर किड्स टू think about the community?
Again, it's a very often repeated thing, but I think children don't hear, they watch. So if the parents are selfish and self-centered and not leading lives of value to the larger world, then आप 1000 moral science के lecture उनको दे दो, उनकी कुछ समझ में नहीं आने वाला. They're like, आप कर तो रहे नहीं हो, हमें बता क्यों रहे हो, हमें ना बताओ. बच्चे बहुत तेज होते हैं, वो आपके और मेरे माँ बाप होते हैं. They know exactly what's going on. So I think both my husband and I are involved in a lot of work, and I don't really want to sort of get into that because the purpose of doing work is not to sort of speak about it beyond a point, but to do what we can in our own very, very small way. And I think she watches that and she notices that, because children don't immediately respond in that moment, but they will respond. It becomes part of their DNA. So when the pandemic was raging in the first lockdown, my husband and I started packing small packets of food and taking it in the back of our car, and when we would ride, there would be these daily wage workers who were collected in certain spots. So we would just go and quietly leave our little dabba. We would send her out, she would leave the box out, and when she saw what was going on, she stopped wasting food at home. She said there isn't enough in the world at the and the small things like that. I mean, I don't think there is a very big way that one can kind of put this idea into children's head. But I think they're naturally, if you see a child with a dog or a cat that's hurt, they naturally respond. I think we unlearn what is naturally there as part of our system. उसको सिर्फ हमको alive रखना है. We just need to fan that empathy. It's already there in children.
How beautiful. Chalo, so on this note, let me introduce you to the two student volunteers who've been a part of the journey of Pramerica Spirit of Community Awards in the past. And they also wish to encourage other student volunteers to apply for the awards next year. Let me welcome Sai Arjun Shroff. He is promoting natural remedies for health benefits. A student of Modern School, Barakhamba Road, he's launched Nature for Health, a campaign that aims to leverage the benefits of nature to stop mosquito breeding and prevent mosquito-borne diseases. Sai Arjun Shroff, welcome to the Spirit Talk. And we also have with us Ishita Mangala, a student of Delhi Public School, R.K. Puram. She has developed a software that can detect vision development disorders in pre-verbal children at an early stage to minimize long-term damage. Her initiative, Sunain, aims to diagnose and treat children with amblyopia and poor visual acuity. So, Ishita and Sai, welcome to the Spirit Talk. And we have a very distinguished guest with us today. She would love to hear about your work. She would love to ask you questions. And please feel free to ask questions to Tiska also. So, पहले थोड़ा समझ लेते हैं आप लोग क्या क्या करते हैं. थोड़ा सा brief introduction मैंने दे दिया. But Sai, tell us about the Nature for Health campaign.
Okay, so basically I was back in 10th grade back in New Delhi, India. And so basically I was started with the thought process, basically that what inculcated this thought process to launch a social welfare campaign back in 10th grade. So as ma'am said, that education in our country is still a privilege. It's considered a privilege in the country. And as I come from a very humble traditional Indian background, and when I was growing up, my parents always instilled in me the notion of giving back to the community from any development that I encountered in my lifestyle, or in my education, or in my academic history. So in 10th grade, while giving boards, I understood a concept by the name biomimicry. So I launched this research-based social welfare campaign when I was in 10th grade in New Delhi, India. And the name of the social welfare campaign is basically Nature for Health. So basically the motivating factor, or basically the pushing factor that made me go beyond my academic education was basically a notion that my parents instilled in me from childhood, that it's my duty to give back to the community from whatever development that I encounter in my lifestyle or in my academic history whatsoever. So back at 10th grade in my biology class, I learned a concept by the name biomimicry. And it's basically the concept is basically like you search in nature to find solutions to the problem that are created by nature itself. And by the 10th grade, I noticed that mosquito disease, basically communicable disease, was a very big menace. And because of it, unavoidable circumstances were increasing rapidly. If you go to the slum dwellings and all, because of mosquito-borne disease like dengue, malaria, chikungunya, you name it, they were increasing exponentially, which was a very big cause of unwanted health consequences. Deaths also, the death rate was also increasing in these slum dwellings. And of course, as India is a developing nation, still our medical background is still, the government sector is basically still, it's not up to the equivalent to serve the entire population of these major areas. So I was like, and it struck me personally, because my younger brother also got onto dengue, and the domestic help in my household for dengue, and it was a triggering point for me. So after it came really close to it triggered me, and I felt like I have to do something about it. And combining my education, the concepts and all, I started researching in nature itself, because the problem is created by nature, because it's spread through mosquitoes. And after researching, I came across few species of plants that repel mosquitoes on an exponential level. If you keep one plant inside your room, one of the species of the plant inside your room, they will repel the mosquitoes. Basically, one plant is equivalent to no mosquito inside the room. And considering India's developing economy, I felt that it's my duty as a
citizen,
good citizen, as it was my duty, and also to fulfill the notion of my parents, that it's my duty to give back to the community, that I have to spread awareness about these species of plants. But before that, I also want to ensure that they are safe. And also for that, I conducted research in Delhi University with Professor Chakraborty, the head of botany department. And after getting tick marks that yes, they are not harmful, they are right if you could use them, and I was like, this is really great, because Of course, first is technologically accessible, it's economically feasible, it's culturally acceptable, and all these three things are very important considering the India, because of course it's a developing economy. It's the technology is not that advanced, and it's a plant. It's the simplest thing you can do, and culturally, because India is it's India's caste system history, and India is very rich in its beliefs and conservative approaches, so that there's no conflicting point, because of course it's plants again, and you're not consuming it, you're just putting it inside your room. So after everything, all the threshold requirements are fulfilled, I develop a website. I use technology with what that was with my reach up to full potential to spread awareness. I use SMS Boost. I contacted people, like held speeches. I held social welfare campaigns. I conducted a campaign. I went to slum dwellings. I went to villages in and around Delhi, telling the panchayats that use this plant because it's really important. And I convinced them. And after getting reports that yes, it worked exponentially, and also basically the number of reported cases decreased after 2 months or two after the panchayats showed that a plant was kept into every household. The
Nice.
number of cases reported decreased rapidly, and I feel that being I really pushed myself. I felt that it was as I had access to education again in India, I had the privilege to have good access to good quality education, and I was privileged enough for that basic threshold requirement. I feel that it was my duty to ensure that those people benefit from it, who have access to it.
Sai, since we're short on time and Tiska ji has to leave, what plant did you say it was?
It's marigold citronella grass. These are the plants. The extracts of these plants are used in your so-called Ayurvedic or basically non-chemical sprays, you would say.
Okay, great. Okay, Ishita, the work that you've done for visual problems, we could say, that has a very personal connect. Yeah. So tell us about your work and the personal connection, why you were doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Sai Arjun said, there is a large disparity in access to medical resources in urban and rural areas in India, and in fact, the ophthalmologist to patient ratio in India is about 1 to 10,000 in rural areas, which makes it very challenging for people to even access basic medical facilities. And as you said, I did have, a developmental disorder growing up, and kind of seeing that around me inspired me to kind of combine technology and healthcare and to build my software. So I think the goal for me, with the software was to make it accessible, affordable, and low cost, and just for it to be accessible in low resource areas, so that people who didn't have access to a specialist could still test and get the results. And so I automated the gold standard digital acuity test, the teller acuity test, which is used worldwide. And I was able to automate it, and it went through a couple rounds of clinical trials. But as I was testing it, I realized that I was testing it in an area that had all the best medical facilities. So the trials were going on in AIIMS. So I basically took a couple of months off in the summer to go around villages in India and kind of do a little bit of user research to figure out how to best design the software so it would truly serve people in lower resource areas. And then afterwards, I went around a few slums in Delhi, testing children and kind of connecting them to ophthalmologists who could give them pro bono or low cost treatment. And I also fundraised a little, money through social media and by just asking people to kind of fund spectacles and treatments for the children who were flagged by the software.
Wow. So I think let me take a backseat for a while and let the three of you interact with each other. जिसका आप अगर कुछ पूछना चाहें इन दोनों से या ये दोनों आपसे कुछ पूछना चाहें, please feel free.
Please go ahead if you have to ask me anything, because I don't think there's anything that's so remarkable about what I'm doing, but what you guys are doing is absolutely unbelievable. Truly amazing. Sai Arjun, I think what you spoken about. We were still in the middle of along with the larger COVID pandemic, we're also in the middle of a dengue pandemic in India. So I think that's something that is amazing, that the marigold citronella plant can be used. I'm going to get myself one ASAP, because we have such a huge mosquito menace in our house. And if large tracts of land, especially, we have a lot of these water bodies in India, jahan pe, machhar, it's a breeding ground for mosquitoes. So we can have lots of, I'm going to talk about this a lot more, and I'm going to quote your name and try and push this idea as much as I can, and get people to get the marigold citronella plant at home, and probably get a lot of people to not get dengue at this point. And Ishita, I didn't exactly understand the nature of the work. So what was it's a software that you've developed that helps to do what exactly?
So it helps determine the visual acuity of the child. So when you go into like a doctor's clinic to check your eyesight, and then you get a number, it essentially does that, but for pre-verbal children. So the scale is a little bit different for pre-verbal children. So it's essentially a refractive error screening test for pre-verbal children. So ages 0 to 4.
How lovely! How lovely! So it can be detected early, and then corrective surgery can be done, or glasses can be provided. Is that what it does?
Absolutely, yeah.
How lovely! How lovely! So you're literally giving eyes to the world.
Yeah, that's the name of the campaign, Sanan.
Beautiful, beautiful. How amazing! Countries in good hands. But I hope you're planning to come back to India and not stay at Texas University and at Stanford. Or are you planning to add to America's glory rather than India's glory?
Man, the future is unpredictable. So the main goal is to promote the humankind from anywhere possible, either it's India or it's US or it's London, whatever. But of course,
That's
I'll
smart.
try.
That's a smart answer. One diplomatic and one very smart answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't these kids. And you, Ishika?
Yeah, no, I think India is just accelerating at a very like innovation in India's taking up speed, and it's amazing. And I have a lot of friends here at Stanford who absolutely want to come back to India, and I too want to come back because I think the landscape is very exciting, especially in healthcare, and there's so much to be done.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Wonderful. Congratulations to both of you, and really proud of what you guys are doing. And the Spirit of Community Awards recognized you early on and your work early on. And we hope that many, many such young kids come forward and start using their absolutely fertile and brilliant minds to help humankind and also specifically India, because there is a lot that is needed to be done here in our country.
So, Sai and Ishita, do you want to ask Tisca something?
Yeah,
Any questions?
it's not a question. It's not a question. I just want to put this on the table. So, ma'am, like, my childhood favorite movie is Tare Zameen Par.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, and that's my favorite. That's my favorite movie. Yeah, and that's like my family thing movie. Like every Saturday, so my dad and I used to sit and watch that movie. And he used to tell me, if you miss me, I'm going to send you to boarding school.
Everybody passes my own daughter.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got scared enough and didn't go.
You're not going to do that. So, yeah. I'm so glad, though. Yeah, I love that movie, too. It's quite precious. It's lucky to get a chance to do a film like that.
But the Tisca, I have to tell you something. When the movie released, what year was that exactly? 2007 or 8, I think, right?
Yeah,
I think 7. I was planning to send my daughter to a boarding school, and she didn't want to. And then how she used Tare Zameen Par as an excuse to not go. She started howling and see how bad those parents are who send their kids to boarding school. And then she ensured that I couldn't send her to a boarding after that. So Tare Zameen Par is responsible for that.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Ishita, you want to ask something?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Ms. Richa said, you have a lot, like you write a lot, and you're also involved in movies. So where did that inspiration come from? And just also, like as Sai Arjun said, like that is, I mean, but it's like probably like in my top 3 favorite like Bollywood movies, and I just watch it whenever I have a chance. So I just wanted to say what a big fan I am of your work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me, and I'm so glad. As an artist, you want at the end of the day to connect with people, and the fact that all three of you have a connection to the movie, however different it might be, fills my heart with love and joy and happiness. Makes me feel that what I'm doing with my life has some meaning and value beyond just making a career out of it and making a livelihood out of it. I'm really, really happy. Thank you so much for your wonderful words.
So I think Tiska, बहुत सारे एक्टर्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे ऑथर्स होते हैं, हर काम में बहुत सारे लोग हैं, बट व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट इज कि आपके काम का असर कितना हो रहा है, मीनिंगफुल कितना है आपका काम, इम्पैक्टफुल कितना है, एंड वहां पर कहना होगा hats off to you for doing the kind of cinema that you do, the kind of books you've been writing. So it really matters a lot. चलते चलते मैं चाहूंगी कि जैसे आपने हमारे 2 स्टूडेंट वॉलंटियर्स को देखा, ऐसे बहुत सारे हैं 11 साल के प्रेमेरिका स्पिरिट ऑफ कम्युनिटी अवार्ड्स के सफर में a lot of student volunteers have been honored, but we want to honor more. And so there's a deadline of 31st January for next year's awards, and we want more and more student volunteers who are into community service to apply for the awards. So आप प्रेमेरिका स्पिरिट ऑफ कम्युनिटी अवार्ड्स के लिए क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगी?
प्रेमेरिका स्पिरिट ऑफ कम्युनिटी अवार्ड्स एक अनबिलीवेबली वंडरफुल इनिशिएटिव है, बिकॉज आई थिंक जो एज उन्होंने ली है, that is the age where the mind is fertile, it's free, it's imaginative, and it is unrestricted by limitations of societal pressures and constraints. और इस एज में अगर बच्चों को encourage किया जाए, then as we have seen with Sai Arjun and Ishita, sky is the limit, because we need new thinking to solve old problems. नहीं तो old problems solve हो चुकी होती है अब तक. So we need, and that Premerica Spirit of America, that new thinking is what we need, because Premerica Spirit of Community Awards is going to encourage many young children like Sai Arjun and Ishita to be able to come forth with their brilliant new ideas and solve age-old problems like famine and drought and the crop burning in Delhi and the pollution, population problem, how to educate more people. The number of issues, the class divide, there's so many issues. Both of them have handled 2 entirely different things. The marigold citronella plant to deal with mosquitoes, the mosquito menace, and with Ishita, she developing a software for pre-verbal ages children for them to be able to detect eye problems. I think these are just unbelievable. मतलब कोई सोचेगा भी कैसे?
And let me quickly tell all the student volunteers, people who know such volunteers, how to apply. spiritofcommunityindia.com पर जाएं और वहां पर apply करें. As I said, the deadline is 31st January. There are 2 scholarships worth 3.5 lakhs each for 2 national winners, and there are certificates, medals, and above all, मुझे लगता है अच्छे काम के लिए जो recognition होती है, जो respect होता है, जैसे अभी हमने कहा कि टिस्का के काम के लिए जो respect है, that I think is above all. It's more than money, it's more than a certificate or anything else. It's the recognition, the honor that Premerica Spirit of Community Awards gives to each student volunteers who participate. So thank you so much, Tiska Chopra, for joining us in the Spirit Talk and interacting with our student volunteers and encouraging many more to apply for these awards. Thank you.
My total pleasure. Thank you for having me, and congratulations both Ishita and Sai Arjun, and thank you guys once again.
Thank you.